Oh, that is a long... Oh, please don't break. Please don't break.
1348 Ex Voto review. A 3.5 out of 10.
This... I vow.
That score is honest. There were multiple points during the game where I genuinely didn't want to keep playing, but I pushed through and finished it so people could at least see the full experience for themselves. One of the biggest problems for me was the combat and controls. They just felt clunky and unfinished. You have the option to dodge, guard, and later unlock a parry system. But none of it felt especially satisfying. The dodge barely looks like an actual dodge. It feels more like a slight sidestep than a real evasive move. It just never felt smooth or responsive. The parry system also added frustration. If you hold your guard down and tap the input at the right time, you can parry enemies and deplete their guard meter, which opens them up for attacks. On paper, that sounds fine. In practice, it was inconsistent and annoying, especially against certain enemies. The spear and lance enemies were some of the worst. I had such a hard time timing their attacks, and I eventually gave up on parrying them and tried relying more on dodging instead, but even dodging felt unreliable.
Not gutted a woman wielding a sword.
Holy shit! At one point, I had to fight wave after wave of enemies, and they would often spawn in awkward positions, sometimes practically beside me. There were moments where I'd get trapped between two enemies and the camera would shift too slowly for me to react properly. By the time it focused on the second attacker, I was already getting hit. It felt like the game was demanding split-second reflexes without giving the player the tools or responsiveness needed to handle it well. There is a progression system where you collect papers scattered throughout the environments to unlock upgrades. I initially liked the idea of exploring and strengthening your character, and I did put some effort into it, but the system still felt limited. A lot of times I found myself spending points on basic survival upgrades like health because I needed them just to deal with the frustrating combat, rather than investing the abilities that actually sounded interesting.
I can save myself.
That said, the game does have a few strengths. The environments are probably the standout feature. Visually, the game looks good in a lot of places. The lighting is strong, the atmosphere works, and the environments are genuinely beautiful.
No. A raid! We don't stand a chance with so many lost.
And I think the visual presentation was one of the game's biggest positives. I also thought the facial animation and lip sync were decent. The voice acting was surprisingly solid for an indie title. The acting was honestly one of the better parts of the experience.
I am Mordred, and you are Arthur. Fight or yield.
The performances and the environment art are doing a lot of the heavy lifting here.
If you will not heed my words, remember, power without fairness, without justice, leads to cruelty.
Unfortunately, the story didn't work for me at all. I found it boring, underdeveloped, and hard to stay invested. Some of the character motivations didn't land, and the writing felt too thin to carry the darker themes it was aiming for. The villain reveal especially didn't have much impact for me. When Bianca becomes the main villain, I was left more confused than intrigued. Maybe I missed something, but I never felt like the story was strong or clear enough to make that twist meaningful. It came across as rushed and not fully thought out. Even the ending didn't really save it. The final choice or outcome felt abrupt, and instead of leaving me satisfied or curious, it mostly just made me glad the game was over.
We can be free. Both of us. Together.
There were pieces of a better game here, particularly the visuals, atmosphere, and acting. But the clunky combat, frustrating enemy encounters, weak story, and lack of polish made this a disappointing experience overall.